Hello. I want you to be aware the state of Ohio allows you to charge what is called a documentary service fee to complete the documents that are involved in a motor vehicle transaction. Now, the majority of your profits are normally going to be the markup of the vehicle, to where you're going to go to that dealer auction, you're going to buy that vehicle as low as you possibly can, and then you're going to mark it up and sell it as high as you can. That's the markup of the vehicle, and that's normally going to be the majority of what your profits are incurred when you're selling a motor vehicle. However, the state of Ohio does allow you to charge what is a documentary service fee. It's called a documentary service fee, and this allows you to incur additional profits for all the documents that you're going to be completing when you sell a motor vehicle. But I do want you to be aware, the state has very strict guidelines on your documentary service fee. First of all, you can either charge the maximum rate that is set by the BMV every year that's tied directly to the consumer price index, or 10% of the vehicle price, whichever is lower. So you can either charge the maximum rate that is allowed by the BMV every year and is tied directly to the consumer price index, or 10% of the vehicle price, whichever is the lower of the two. So the maximum does change every single year. I do want you to be aware of that. You can visit the BMV website to find out the maximum rate that is allowed that year, or you can always call the BMV dealer licensing section in Columbus at 614-752-7636. You may never ever charge more than the maximum rate that is allowed by law. So if you need to check out the BMV website, you can just type in Ohio documentary service fee on Google or your favorite search engine, and then you'll see the actual fees for that specific year, okay? Now, in the year 2026, the maximum rate is going to be $398. Now, that is whenever you're watching this video. Maybe you're watching it before 2026, or maybe you're watching it after 2026. You want to make sure you're never charging more than what is allowed by law. If you're watching this video in 2025, this rate is not accurate, okay? But if you're watching it in 2026, it is an accurate rate. So during 2026, from January 1st till December 31st of 2026, the Ohio BMV will allow a licensed motor vehicle dealer to charge a maximum of $398 for your documentary service fee, or 10% of the vehicle price, whichever is the lower of the two. So let's take a look at this graph here, and I think it'll easily explain this. Let's say, for example, you're selling a $10,000 car. Well, the maximum rate in 2026 would be $398. Let's say you're selling a $5,000 car. The maximum rate for 2026 would be $398. Let's say you're selling a $3,980 car. Then the maximum is still $398. But anytime you're selling a vehicle that is priced lower than $3,980 in 2026, then 10% of the vehicle price will become the lower of the two. So let's say you're selling a vehicle for $3,780, then $378 would be the maximum rate you could charge for your documentary service fee. Let's say you sell a vehicle for $2,500. Well, then $250 would be the maximum rate. See how that works? If you sell a vehicle for $1,000, which I doubt if you ever do that, but then the maximum documentary fee would be $100. So always remember, you can either charge the maximum rate, which is allowed by the BMV by that year and is tied directly to the consumer price index, or 10% of the vehicle price, whatever is the lower of the two. And this can really add to your profits. I mean, just think about it. If you sell 10 vehicles and you're allowed to charge the $398 documentary service fee on every vehicle, I mean, there's almost $4,000 in additional profits for your dealership just by completing the paperwork that is required in a motor vehicle transaction. I want you to be aware, if you are getting your license, one of the best things you can do is use a great dealer management software program that will complete all of your paperwork for you with a couple clicks of the mouse. It'll get loans for all of your customers within seconds. It'll also allow you to start a very profitable buy here, pay here dealership. And if you think about how a buy here, pay here model works, you can have a multitude of customers wire transferring you money every single month, and it can create a snowball effect of cash flow. It can be very, very profitable. And when you're using a good dealer management service software program, it'll help you acquire any inventory that your customer's looking for. It helps you maintain compliance with all Ohio state and also the federal laws out of Washington. So if you're not using a great dealer management software program or any software program, I strongly encourage you to go to my official website, dealerslicense.com. Just click on the software link right up there, and you'll be able to get a free trial of a software program that I've been using, plus a $250 credit. And that will allow you to use my favorite dealer software program for about 5.5 months at no charge. So you want to wait until you are actually a licensed dealer to qualify for this. If you're thinking about getting your license, just keep this in mind. And then when you get your license, you can go to dealerslicense.com and click on the software link. Now, if you are just getting ready to get your license, the course that I've created is approved by the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles dealer licensing section in Columbus. They've been very instrumental in completing this course. And it is mandated, by the way, and this course is approved by the state of Ohio. So you can go to ohiodealer.com and click on sign up right there. And I would certainly appreciate you considering me becoming your Ohio dealer license training partner. And I want to wish you the very best of luck. But if you need anything, just go to ohiodealer.com and click on the sign up link there. Thank you very much.